2 firefighters are injured and a family out of their home tonight after an early morning fire in Athens. Our Kelly Kennedy tells us why fighting fires in the frigid temperatures is even more dangerous for our first responders.
5 fire departments responded to a home fire on Hall Road in Athens around 3:30 this morning, leaving a family, 2 adults and 3 kids, with no place to sleep tonight. The family got out safely, but as crews worked to put out the fire, a couple firefighters suffered ankle injuries. One of them had to have surgery. Fighting any fire is dangerous, but when crews responded to this home in below freezing temperatures, they were met with even more challenges. I spoke to East Limestone Fire Chief Joey Boyd, who says the freezing temperatures this morning created black ice when the water they were spraying hit the ground and froze over. Although the Tony Fire Department did not respond to this fire, Tony Fire and Rescue President Heath Jones says these freezing temperatures create the same dangers for all firefighters.
Having our personnel out in the elements like they have to experience, and then not to mention we're spraying water trying to extinguish a fire. That runoff has to go somewhere, and it normally freezes.
Jones says it's easy for firefighters to experience tunnel vision when responding to some calls, and says they have to be even more aware of their surroundings when it's this cold out.
If you're trying to make some type of rescue, or you have a work instruction fire, a lot of times black ice and your surroundings is the last thing that's on your mind.
Firefighters believe this home is a total loss. They say there's just damage all throughout the home. Putting the Valley first in Athens, I'm Kelly Kennedy, WZDX News.